Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Very interesting developments in Ukraine, and I think those guys are just really are familiar with the art of war. They should be, because they're the military, right? But they fit into at least two documents that I am familiar with. One is the one written by the Chinese warrior Sun Tzu. You're familiar with that. The book is called Art of War. And the other one that is very revealing is, or was written by Miyamoto Musashi. He was a Japanese master with Iaido, and he wrote the Gori no Sho, the Book of Five Rings. And this Miyamoto Musashi lived in what? In 1584 until 1645. Anyway, so he wrote this book, and he said that Miyamoto Musashi, in this case, wanna use him. He said that once you see a weakness in the defensive of your enemy, and you're certain that's a weakness, go all the way and destroy him there. So, you know, you fight, and when you see that you get the person off balance in one little area or somewhere, then go focus all your energy on that little crack to destroy the enemy. So this is per Miyamoto Musashi. You're probably familiar with this guy. Anyway, I appreciate his book very much. Now, this is what's going on here. We have an article coming from Sputnik, and it's from today, the 19th of November 2022. It says that DPR head, so that's Donetsk People's Republic, so DPR's head, Pushilin, says units of people's militia advancing along entire front line. Well, I thought they are just, they can't do anything. The Russians were impotent, the Ukrainians are advancing, the guys ran over the Dnieper River, and they're getting ready for Christmas. They cut the pigs, drink, eat, all kind of things. So, you know, it seems like not. And this correlates with some other incidents, other developments that I will talk in a minute. Let me see what these guys are saying. It's a short article. They don't give too much details. Is it because they're lying? I don't know. Denis Pushilin, the head of the Donetsk People's Republic DPR, said on Saturday, today, that units of the DPR people militia are advancing, and I'm quoting, advancing along the entire front line. End quote. In addition, Pushilin noted the improvements in the settlements of Pavlovka, Ugladar, and Mayorsk in the Donetsk region, as well as in the city of Bakhmut, despite the difficult situation. Now, regarding the Bakhmut, I heard the Americans, not the Americans, I think it was the British defense minister, I think it was. Anyway, one guy from the West, a military guy, said that they will not be, the Russians will, the Wagner group, the Wagner will not be able to break Bakhmut. They will not. Nah, okay, thank you very much. You told us many things about Iraq, and some weasels believed it, and then you fucked up a country. Anyway, so you don't have no credibility. Bang, move on. Now, what are the developments here? Interesting, that I was talking about Musashi, is that these are the developments. This weasel, the clown, what's his name, Zelensky, whatever happened with, he said, well, it was the Russians who shot that missile, or those missiles, in Poland. All right, fell on Poland. They said, the Poles and the Americans said, nah, actually it was you. No, it wasn't me. Okay, and now we're investigating. They think the West took that as being maybe a provocation by Zelensky, by this guy, to get NATO involved for them actively in a war with Russia, which would end up in, I would say, nuclear weapons use. That's what I think, because Russia cannot, and those guys are not willing to risk their lifestyles and lives for Ukraine to destroy Russia. That's the whole goal. Russia must be destroyed on the territory of Ukraine. That's where the thing happens right now. Now that's one thing, and then we have a lot of Americans. I'm talking about people with authority, military. General Austin and General Milley came and said, hey, maybe you guys should start negotiating. That's all you can get. The Russians will not retreat. You cannot advance more. Maybe you should start negotiating. And then it was Jack Sullivan, the senior U.S. advisor. He said, well, maybe Ukraine should lower your unrealistic requests for negotiation with Russia in order to start negotiation. Yesterday, another weasel from the White House, what's his name, Kirby came and said, well, you guys, Ukraine, should start negotiating whenever you want, and wherever you want. These are the options that were given, not the option of yes, negotiate or not. We already took that decision, made the decision for you. And then, so all these things, we got some politicians in the West saying, maybe, it's time to time out, pick up the pieces and call it good for now in Ukraine. Let's try some other time, okay? That's what I think it happens. And on this context, regarding the West seems to be showing cracks. Remember Musashi? Showing a crack. That's a weakness. Not supporting this guy, telling him to negotiate, that means telling him to negotiate because he has the upper hand. Remember? And then we got another things. Russia, what does Russia do? Instead of saying, yeah man, okay, everybody stop, calm down, let's go and talk. No. They start hitting more. They use their missiles more. In the past 5-6 days, they use a big barrage of missiles. More bombardments than any other instance in the past 10-11 months since the war was around. Okay? 10 months, whatever. So that's an increase in bombardments. Now this article saying, oh, we're actually advancing. Another bad news, and I think the worst news is, I just made a video on that a minute ago, the Russians resupplied with Iskander-M missiles all their units on the front. You know what it is? Like putting the new clips, I'm ready. Full. So all this, what the Russians are doing, offensive here, advancement, missiles ready, the barrage of missiles they send. These guys, on the other hand, maybe you guys should negotiate, winter's coming, the crack, and these guys are focusing now, upping their game and going in that little crack with more than they had before. This is how I could analyze it. Could be analyzed in many ways that we don't see it, it's information, but to me it seems like these guys are upping their game and these guys are lowering their game. If true. But this is the information we got, and we have to play with it the way it comes to us. And tomorrow they might say, no, there was a lie. Well, I didn't know. You didn't know. Anyway, this is the news here, and I thought that the Russians will come down and get ready to have their vodka, their pigs cut, and eat their cabbage rolls, yum 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 yum, and all that for the Christmas and so. But it seems like they're not done yet. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.